Hello, this is Silly Kelly. And Clint Cowpoke and I were at Fanime on Saturday, day 3, and this is a little bit of what happened from Silly Kelly's perspective. I got to, we got to see Doug Walker. We got to see, it was really exciting, not the cinema stop, the Nostalgia Critic. I got to later go to I got to dress up in different costumes. I had space outfit and Silly Kelly outfit and the shirt underneath outfit toward the end, and I went in there and I had it on, and the shirt lady was like, "Oh, cool, we're advertising our shirt place." And they thought that I worked there. Some of the people that, "Oh, he's probably like a paid advertiser." It's like, no, I just put the shirt on. I'm not a paid advertiser. Do you think they can afford that at Bacon? No. There were some, probably. Let's see. I went to some panels. I went to the Slash panel, and the Cowcat original stuff that he did was under the pseudonym. That he did some Slash stuff. So we wanted to see what the panel was like. Not during the 70s and 80s, though. No, it was a little bit later, late 80s, early 90s. You won't find that, like you won't find many of those other Slash stories out there. Although we did copy it. It was in the age of computers and stuff, and we saved it, so I have it as printouts. But not the original art. The illustrations are gone. There was art with it. It's gone. That's gone. But the actual files are around. So also, so then I went to this really terrible comedy club thing. It was, my God, there was like two guys. Well, the first guy was kind of funny. The last guy was kind of funny, but there was a final last guy I didn't stay for. So the second to last guy. These other two guys just were not funny. I don't know who they were, but yeah, racial humor isn't funny. Even if you're that race, it just really isn't. They did that a lot. Humor about people who are mentally disturbed in a con like that, probably a bad idea. So yeah, that was probably not his best idea. Afterward, I saw one of those the candy girl from that show about the prison thing where she got the white circles all over her from a couple of years ago from Bacon. She now grew up a little bit. She was doing the Under the Sea song, and I did an impromptu Under the Sea song out while walking down the street by the Tech Museum. That was funny. I don't even know her name, but it was funny. It was a girl from years ago. So yeah, they were. What is that show? It's like Neon Death, not Death Note, but something like that. It's about a prison where she's like this candy grubbing character. It's a Japanese prison show, I guess, and they're like in a sort of a group home for like wayward girls or something, and it's a prison. And it's a cult, kind of. And she has, like, powers. She's a mutant as well, of course. White outfit. And I'm sure somebody will put in the comments, "That's that character. Don't you know that?" Anyway, so... But yeah, that's my take. I'm exhausted. So, maybe Clint Cowpoke will come by later. Tell you a little bit more about it. But, yeah. So this was Fanime. My little brief recap. Of course, we have lots and lots of footage. I don't know how much of the Nostalgia Critic footage you'd want to see, but the slideshow of that footage goes on forever, as we were allowed to film in his panel, but it probably, out of context, won't make any sense. So I have to cut it so that it's like, not 30 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever, but down to like 10 or 11, and got the highlights, because it's too long. There'll be a Cowcat version, which will not be on YouTube. Anyway, but there's probably music in the background anyway, so... check that out. Yeah, so we met tomorrow, more Nostalgia Critic and his signing thing. And yeah, to clarify the Slash fiction thing, I did not go on to a panel where I was discussing anything about that. I just mentioned it on the afterward on the tape that I had done some Slash fiction. But I was not on a panel. I went to a panel, just to clarify that. Most of the Slash fiction discussed there was pairings of ladies, including the Xena characters. Really obvious. And other ones. But it's like it's almost a trope when you get the hot ladies as a lesbian couple. It's like, no, why would it necessarily be the really hot ones? That's what was annoying about that Deep Space Nine episode with Dax. It's like, yeah, she's hot. And then at the end, they cop out and she can't be with her because it was the universe and, oh, no, I'm all depressed because they had to be depressed about it. No, they didn't. But yeah, anyway, so they didn't discuss the Deep Space Nine one, actually. So anyway, there's your my review. This here's Clint Cowpoke, bringing you the convention backstory stuff. Clint Cowpoke. I guess, well, oh man, I'm tired, pretty ton worn out. Took her. There was that. Oh my gosh, there was. This review was going to make any sense. So, no. I ain't drunk or nothing. I'm just real tired. Unless they slipped me a roofie in that hotel water. In which case I'll wake up with Bill Cosby hovering over me going, zip zap zip the bop. I'm going to take some against the will. I'm not gay or nothing, but for you I'll make an exception. So yeah, there was a feller, one of them preacher guys, is out there complaining about Fanime. Apparently they wouldn't let him anywhere at the convention center, so he's down the street a little bit, near where everybody walked to the Bijan and the hotel. Apparently they were okay with that. It's just one guy, so he's like one protester. They used to have a whole army of them. Now they have one. And Silly Kelly and I were joking as we got to the bus. First of all, Silly Kelly is insane because as we was walking by the guy on the way out, leaving, he was there all day pretty much. We were on the way out. I'm jumping to the way out for some reason. And he goes, Jesus Christ never said anything about homosexuals. Just kept walking. I was like, we better run a little faster. He may have friends. And then later on, he didn't. And then later on, we get to the bus. Yeah, get to the bus station, and there was, yeah, and there's the Alito gay nightclub over there. You know what? Somebody should out that guy who's been saying it's sinful to take costumes and being gay. You know, he was saying that because he's hyper religious. Yeah, so. Somebody in the audience, I'm not going to do this, but somebody in the audience should have said, I saw you at the laid-out on the street. I know it was you because of that mole on your butt. It's like, oh, no, that wasn't me. It was research. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Because I bet he was there. Don't know for sure. I didn't say that. I'm just saying it was funny. He was outed as a hypocrite. It's like, yeah, his day job, he works at the Lido. Well, under the Lido. He showed up and they got naked. Buck naked. Showed his ass. Yee-hoo! No. Yep. Yeah, we saw Nostalgia Critic. A bunch of people were very, very opinionated about movies. And ones they liked that other people didn't like so much. One of them thought that everybody doesn't like Akira, which is ridiculous. And no, everybody liked... Fanime people like Akira. Another one was pissed off about the Hateful Eight, but yeah, it was okay. More of the same. Somebody was pissed off about Pulp Fiction. That was funny. I'm just going over most of this because I doubt you're going to want to sit through 30 minutes of or more. I'll show some of it if it doesn't have music. Well, that's later. I'm not going to bother doing anything except uploading it tonight. So, I'm not used to walking all around. You see me on my channel. I'm usually in my room. I'm walking around. It's really dry out there. Really, really dry. Ooh, and I wasn't outside the whole time. This time, half of it I was indoors. Oh yeah, the girl Silly Kelly mentioned. It's from, yeah, I still can't remember what that is. Anyway. There were others as well. Oh yeah, there was a funny one. There was these, the Sailor Scouts. So we went to a Sailor Moon panel. And at first, you know, it was really sparkly and girly and cute. But then it took a turn to the darker part of, not the dark side, but the darker part of, and they actually went there. And two of the characters are gay. They're lesbians. But it's like, I kind of figured that in the original cartoon. They said they were cousins. I didn't buy it. They're gay. But now there's another one coming out. Sailor Moon R2. I guess R1 was the first one. And they're kind of going with the idea that, oh, they're suddenly gonna like betray each other, and that's really cheesy. It's like, no, they can't be. That's no. Even the anime voice ladies were like, oh, that's gonna be heartbreaking and everything. Yeah, but that's cheesy. We shouldn't. The couple should be a couple, and then yeah, and the Slash panel. And that awful oh my god, that comedian was terrible. Wow. People were leaving the theater and the comedian guy. It's later on. There were 4 of them. There were going to be 5, but I left. The 5th one was a little louder. There was this one comedian, and the problem with one of his shtick was that he just mumbled into the microphone. You could not understand him. To which Silly Kelly, of course, blurted out half, you know. It was Kelly, of course, yeah. Said, well, yeah. The first rule of acting is projection or something. Yeah, you want to get kicked out. A lot of other people were, too, so it wasn't just him. Yeah. A lot of manga characters, girls, and things. And the Slash fiction lady points out, you know, Harry Potter Slash is technically, like, sleazy, and because it's technically they're in high school, so she doesn't like Harry Potter Slash. I guess it's okay with them as long as they've just graduated when they're 18. But yeah, that's true. That's kind of gross. Yeah, and Slash of, like, movies like Inside Out and stuff. No. Ew. There is some. There shouldn't be. I heard Tail. Gross. It's like, I don't want to see that. Ew. I'd rather see a guy take a horse up the butt. That's an old meme from back in the day. The guy actually did. He died, but not during that incident later on. I figure, you know, the horse had a good time. And anyway, so, oh, God. That did not happen at Fanime. That was online. One thing they messed up was when the internet started. She seemed to think that the boards and things like that started as early as '83. They didn't. Because most people didn't have a fast enough dial-up modem until the 90s. So even if there were early message boards in the 80s, they were all universities, which had a bigger server. Yeah, so these were not the earliest internet Slash was the 90s. They actually had that stuff. And even though Nostalgia Critic was at this convention, he must have pre-recorded his thing on Killing Joke before he left. So we will see him tomorrow. It's going to be real special. And crossover. Well, it's sort of a crossover. But yeah, it's more like Cowcat went and saw him. Because, of course, yeah, he had a line that was around the block. They were, like, around the hotel there. And they're running around inside that is like a block. It's huge. And Fairmont. And, yeah, it's mainly where I was. I was also on the floor show. Strutting about. There was even a moonwalk at the end. That was Kelly, though. Yeah. Out on the street. Some people were freak dancing. He just walked by and moonwalked. Yeah. So anyway, that's so far my recap of Fanime for tonight, because a lot of it is recorded. Yeah, for day 3. And man, I pooped and tuckered out. Not even high or drunk or nothing. Just tuckered out. Just tuckered. Plum tuckered. Yep, I got. Yeah, I ain't drinking nothing. Just this water. Yeah. Maybe the tea had something in it. Maybe it was Turkish tea. No. Although they did take over. San Jose State took over. Barton Shops took over the Quickly. That's over there. Actually, I know where the Quickly went. They moved to Milpitas. That Quickly is in Milpitas, where the Wiener Schnitzel used to be. Been in there. I moved over there. Who knew? There's my recap. Such as it is. Oh yeah, if you're like I didn't notice the pretty ladies and also equally the pretty dudes. I did. I seen all the fine looking things. That was one thing I pointed out. There was another hilarious group. I think it was the bear dudes from yesterday. They dressed up in perfect Sailor Moon costumes, but they were guys, and they were just in drag as Sailor Moon. It was hilarious and funny, and they knew they were funny, so it's fine. Yeah, I bet that guy, the preacher man on the street, would have freaked out. But no, I don't know if he went to the Lido Club. I've never been in there. One time I walked by there when I was at San Jose State, because it's right by the bus station. Somebody pouted at me. I'm not sure why. The bouncer guy was like, wow. Maybe he was hoping I was going to go in there. I was like, no. He's like, oh my, you should come in here. No. Didn't do that. Not gonna do that. So I've seen equal parts skin on dudes and chicks. I've seen dudes practically naked. I've seen chicks practically naked. I've seen the call girls and other ones there. I did not have sex with them. I just seen them. And yeah. And one of the comedians said a story about how he was. It's a made up story about how he was a furry. He got into a furry con and he went up to the top of the hotel where they had the plastic on the floors and everything. And then he allegedly went to a furry rave, and then he apparently had sex with several furries. Now, I'm thinking in order to make that joke funnier than what he said, it should have been male furries. It should be like, because that's the way I tell a joke like that. I'm all, yeah, I'll take these roofies at the hotel room, and then the next thing you know, you wake up the next morning and a guy with more hair than you is next to you and he's like, lovingly petting you. Like, ah! See, that's funnier. Oh, shit. Like, yes. Anyway. That didn't happen. 2010. No. Oh shit! I never stayed at the hotel. I have been on the 3rd floor though. That was the Hyatt, and yeah, it's pretty weird. They have cellophane wrap on the ground, mostly to keep the drinks from spilling, but also other bodily fluids. Of course, you figure it's a hotel. There's probably, if you had a black light in any one of those rooms, oh, you'd be like, oh shit. Ow. You're like, fuck. Ew. Okay. Oh. How'd it get up there? It's on the fan. The 2011. Oh my. Klingon slave auction. That was clearly, like, back in the day, Bacon's equivalent of prostitution, they just didn't say. And it clearly was. But when you consider the available chicks, no. Oh, God. I think Mark's Cards and I did see one of those because we stayed late. We saw the beginning of it, and we saw the people going in there. And we're like, oh, I think it was 2011, yeah. I'm like, oh my god. Ew. Well, okay, you can have her if you want to, or you can have him if you want to, but... See, that's the trick to a comedy sketch, too. Instead of just making... They were making fun of minorities, which is bad. They were making fun of people with this mental problems, which is bad. You need to be more self-deprecating and say, like, well, you know, there was this really retarded chick, and, you know, but she was kind of cute, and I figured, you know, bag her face, and then you'd be deprecating, you know, she was okay. Oh, God. Ew. Oh. She turned out to be a guy. No, that didn't happen. There was at least one dude checking out a chick who turned out to be a dude. He's mine. Oh my. He's like, you're aware, as Kelly said, that that's a guy. And he's like, yep. I'm aware that that's a man. You can know his hips and hands and stuff. So yeah, I'm rambling on about, like, suggestive, like, encounters that didn't really happen. Except for that one. That was a guy that saw that dude. He was checking him out. Checking his ass. And I saw a chick had a nice twerking ass. A big twerking ass. She could have been a twerker at a, you know, nightclub or something. She barely had a strap of clothing on her butt. Just a little tiny thing, thong thing. I mean, her giblets, her girdle parts was hanging out, almost. Damn! Ah! Well, in equal parts, you get a dude doing that, like, dressed up in, like, a centurion outfit or something, you know. Dressed up like Thor or something. He's not wearing a shirt, and he's not wearing, in his, like, pants, cod pieces. You can practically see his hairy pubes underneath it. Like, oh, God. Ew. Pubes. Anyway, so yeah. Yes. Observe. This is Calcat the Calcaster. This is day 4 of Fanime Con. Yesterday I might have said day 4, but I meant day 3 was yesterday. And yeah. So the first panel that I went to when I got there was a Voltron cosplay panel. And I'm not sure if they actually did voice work on the show or whether it was exclusively they were cosplayers. I wasn't quite sure on that. If they were just cosplayers, then okay, cool, they're fans that got to have a table. But it's more impressive if they were actually on the new Voltron show. The new one that's on Netflix. Actually, after that, then I went to the autograph signing because I think the other panel was later. Voice actor panel. Let me get the guidebook out here. So yeah, there's basically, I went to this Voltron panel earlier on, and from there went to the line to get in the autograph line for the Nostalgia Critic, and they ushered 200 of us into a room, probably to execute us, and so they ushered 200 of us into a room. We waited in there for a good hour. And then they said, "Oh yeah, your line's not going to go in. You're the extra group. You're the leftovers, backup line." So then we ended up being ushered back into another line in the dealer's room to see him after he signed the 200 autographs for somebody else. And we sat and stood in that line for 2 hours. At least I got plenty of rest. For 2 hours in the line. Yes, so yeah, I eventually met the Nostalgia Critic. And you can see from that picture, I had my eyes closed. They didn't notice. It looks like I'm being told a funny joke and closed my eyes. Oh well. The other one's better. The one that was just impromptu. I don't know if Nostalgia Critic actually knows about the Cal Cat show. Probably not, although he does Cal Cat show does comments on his blog. So yeah, if he didn't before the con started, he does now. So yeah, but yeah, there was a crossover, and this thing was my coverage of the convention. So he is in the Cal Cat show coverage. It's a crossover. So that's awesome. Now, I have not done any of the editing of the final product yet. It's just too long. I don't want to do it tonight. I'll have it up this week, and probably going back tomorrow for our closing ceremonies and whatnot for Monday Madness. And yeah, because Fanime. Because every Memorial Day we do Fanime. Last year was the first full Fanime. This year was the second, even fuller Fanime. But it actually started five years ago, 2012. There was a little bit of it in 2011, actually, but not a whole lot. But we're saying it's officially that it was 2012 when it started, because that was the year that we did not go to. We went to Baycon too. Baycon sucked. The stories had quit going to Baycon by 2011. In 2011, yeah, they didn't go in 2012. And that's my Rare Stories crossover. They weren't at this convention, I don't think. Although maybe at the end, the furry was one of them. The furry person. The furry dragon. Yeah, it was just like, oh. Furry dragon. Excellent. Now, Nostalgia Critic had a meet and greet, but before I get to that, I went to the panel of the Final Fantasy IV guy, Final Fantasy VII guy. He did some of the directing and voice acting for that. I'll probably screw up his name if I try to pronounce it. It's in the video clip, I think. Did I write it down? So I didn't again go to the Yamaguro panel again. No, I went to this other one. This other guy. I went to that one, and I went to one on the making of the voice acting in Final Fantasy and some of that other stuff. Yeah, and then I went to another panel that was called best of behind the scenes of anime voice dubbing. American guy by the name of Kaysen, Chris Kaysen. Anime behind the scenes. And apparently they still fake it. Even now. They just try to guess what the Japanese is being said. According to the director. It's not like that classic line, "Don't wait for the translation, answer me now." And then we go on to the hilarious Nostalgia Critic panel, which I recorded most of it. And yeah. And somebody asked about Reboot, because they liked Reboot. They're apparently my age. And they asked about Reboot. And Nostalgia Critic is 10 years younger than me, so he wouldn't have known. He would have been too young to be nostalgic for it. He would have been around, but, too young to. Yeah. So, I may do a video review of Reboot. I may actually do that. We'll see. It was the same people that made Beast Wars, so that's Transformers. Yeah, so he was Nostalgia Critic was asked if they would ever do a Japanese anime, And he said, well, no, because the Japanese anime studios, they will flag you in a heartbeat. They'll put up a content ID strike. Studio Tribute will come after you. Yeah, so in order for them to do a proper thing, they couldn't show any footage from it. Kind of, what's the point? Part of the reason why my reviews channel doesn't really show any footage, because even recently, my channel, much smaller of course, got flagged for Star Trek Discovery playing in the background. No sound. They did not want images from Star Trek Discovery in the background. Images. Content ID bot. Had to re-upload it without the images. I'm sure people will complain. Where's the review? But yeah, my channel is not a studio like Stone Gremlins. It's non-profit. And if it goes off the air, it goes off the air. So I pulled it. Yeah, so. Well, that's my recap. I guess it's not very long. Since these footages are going to be longer than the story, I will probably narrate. It's very dusty down there, downtown, and phlegmy and stuff. It's just like allergens in the air. It's really annoying. Smog and stuff. Yeah. Down there in San Jose. I'm going to put up all the Fanime stuff because it's a little bit after the 300th episode. I can say it is the 300th episode. And it's Fanime. So. The crossover.